Dirty 30. Dirty 30.
Got a dirty 30 on me.
Dirty 30. Keep a dirty 30, Stephen Curry. Nigga call it dirty 30. Man, I got this dirty 30. Dirty 30, working on me. With dirty 30. Dirty 30. Got a dirty 30, got a dirty 30, got a dirty 30, got a 30.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Dirty 30 podcast, the only podcast serving up that real, raw, and uncut with no bullshit in between. I'm your host, Buzzer Larkin. To the right of me, I got my day one brother, CK Chad Kelly. CK, how's life treating you?
Treat me well, treat me well.
Hey, go ahead.
How's life treating you, D-Man?
D-Man, what you got?
It's doing all right, man. I'm doing great right now, honestly. I've been feeling really well today. I've been real fucking blessed, honestly. So thank you, Jesus.
All
man.
of us blessed just to see another day. And hey, fellas, this is not your normal everyday podcast. Today we have two very special guests, two friends of mine that are incredibly dope. Russ and F.A.C.T.S. Fellas, how you feeling today?
Smooth, man. Smooth. Blessed.
Same. At the gym workout.
Yeah.
So you guys just got done with the gym workout.
Yeah.
Hey, you setting your whole day up right when you started out with a workout, bro. You know what that is? That's facts. But man, we really appreciate you guys hopping on the Zoom here today. Russ and F.A.C.T.S. are representing their group called CIZ. That stands for Creating Internal Zen, a group created by Russ and David, if I'm not mistaken. CIZ, man, they just do cool shit. I know you guys do music, some video and photo work. You guys are pretty much just like a team of creatives, right?
Yeah, man. It's like, we originally started off doing, video production stuff. And then, me and David ended up chatting it up one day in the summer and was like, yeah, like I made beats, all right, let me hear some. And I was like, yeah, I used to make them too. Like, let me hear some. And then, we both kind of got back into the production side of things there. Still doing the video production. That's a lifestyle. That's what we both graduated from school for. But yeah, that's kind of how we ventured off and got into more of the music that we probably let live dormant in us for so many years while pursuing this, video production side of the career. So,
oh yeah, they really go hand in hand so much. And now also I want to shine some light on the rest of the artists and CIZ. I know we got you guys just tell us who else is in the gang.
F.A.C.T.S, go ahead, yeah.
It's me, F.A.C.T.S. We got Demos, call him Lonnie, and we got Cody up in Fort Wayne. Got Jay, hopefully. Got Brooke. And that's basically everybody. That's
sweet, man. I know it's growing. You guys are just growing and growing and growing, and you guys keep adding dope people to the team. Love to see it. For everybody out there, you guys can search CIZ Beats or F.A.C.T.S on Apple Music, Spotify, YouTube even. You can follow them on CIZ at CIZ Films and at CIZ Beats on social media. You guys definitely got to give them a follow. For sure.
Give them a follow.
Dope ass music. Soulful.
For real.
Very soulful. Yeah, we're going to get into the soul loops here in a little bit, but just starting stuff off here. Russ, you kind of already kind of tackled it a little bit, but just talking about how CIZ was created, what's your guys' overall goal with CIZ?
Yeah, so I kind of tackled the early ideas. It kind of happened organically. I graduated from U of I, of course, moved down to Great Old Terre Haute to be a technical director. And it was cool, but it was just like a bunch of free time after work. And I was just like, man, like, it's of course Terre Haute. So it's like, how do you express yourself creatively? It's not a bunch of stuff that you can go out and like, video and create dope content or shoot photos of. So, I just forced myself to kind of get out of my comfort zone and start to create different type of content. And during that portion of time, I created a film and I went and showed it at U of I post-graduation. Just kicked it with the film club kids and stuff like that. And one of those people was David.
Oh yeah.
I made it, and it was kind of a more socially conscious film. And it was very raw in the things that were talked about in it. And I knew it was a difference between things that I had done in the past. So it would be tough for people that has, in the past patted me on my back, like, hey, great, piece of work and stuff like that, to come up and talk to me. But, so everybody kind of was like, I don't know what to say. How do I approach? Do I say great work? Because it showed, videos
right.
of gruesome injustice. And I remember David being like the one person who came up and was like, yo, man, that was like dope. I loved it. Like, great shit. And I thought he was like super young at the time. Like, I thought he was like,
everybody did. Didn't we all? He fooled us all, bro.
Yeah. I'm like, yeah, great job. Sport. Thank you. But no, he was like older than me, so we ended up kicking it. I would come back and forth from Terre Haute to Indy, and then I ended up moving back to Indy. So we like set up this thing where we would shoot every Wednesday. We would, come into it with no idea of what we would do. We would just find like, hey, a prop. All right, here's the prop. Now we're gonna shoot something dope around this prop in this location or that location or this abandoned house or this abandoned building, and like try
Right.
to
Just
make it
letting the
cool.
creativity, like the creativity take it over.
Right. And then in that point in time is when, I started reaching out to people in the city like, hey, trying to reach out to people who had dope stories that weren't told yet. And one of those people were Soul at 317 Dance Academy out here in Fishers. And I reached out to him. I was like, hey, I checked out your IG and your website. Like, what you're doing is dope. You got a street dance academy out here in Fishers where they teach, breaking and stuff like that. So I was like, hey, man, like, I would love to do like a story on you. So me and David went out there, shot a documentary for him. We started off just shooting some impromptu stuff, and we were, shooting some practices and stuff like that. And then we started to flesh out the ideas week by week, and we're like, oh, like we want to actually produce a documentary out of this. So one of the last days, we had like a group interview section, and F.A.C.T.S was there. We had saw F.A.C.T.S around the studio a bunch of different times, but like he didn't know we were shooting a documentary. And then when we had like the mics and the lights and stuff like that all set up, testing everything out, he was like, hold on, like what are we doing here? I was like, yeah, we've been shooting the doc. And he was like, oh shoot, I didn't know that this whole time. But it was funny, like me and him met like in an organic way. And I was just like, yo, like I shoot music videos too. So like if you need something. And then he ended up being on the Creators Lounge, which is like a live performance music series that we had going on that we should definitely start up again, where we kind of just show.
That was on the news. It was on the news, bro.
Yeah.
They had this. They started their own thing called
dope.
Creators Lounge, where they would like. You guys explain it a little bit, actually.
Yeah. So the idea was just like to have local artists come through and kind of do a tiny desk-ish thing, but with a twist on it. You know what I mean? All local artists, locally produced content. And that's when I met F.A.C.T.S because I invited him on. And we shot the episode and everything. And afterwards, I was like, "Yeah, man, I'm getting back into producing a little bit. Like, let me play you something." And he was like, "Oh, this is kind of hard." So probably a couple weeks later, like I put out like a Lil Lucy's project. It was just like a bunch of old beats that I had, and I was just like, "Yo, I haven't done anything with them. I'm gonna just put them all in one project and purge them out of my system." And he ended up picking like a slew of those beats, and that ended up being, maybe half of the production for our first joint album together.
That's sweet.
Damn, I got a question for you, Russ. What are the main challenges in making beats, if you had to name them now?
I would probably say the main challenges is like actually learning some music theory-ish stuff, because as much as you want to, you may find a dope sample, but then you got to figure out what key it's in to build around it. You know what I mean? Like if you want to add a bass, if you want to add strings, if you want to add keys, like you got to know what key that original sample was in, unless it would just be a whole hodgepodge of like a bunch of dissonant sounds. So that's really the most challenging part. Like everything else, comes naturally, thank God. And me and F.A.C.T.S talk about this a lot. Like the production side comes more natural when it comes to like all the mixing and mastering, because I'm doing all the mixing and mastering, and engineering for all the projects. That is like school. That is something where I got to tap in more and be like, yo, like, all right, let me watch a video on this plugin and buy this new plugin and stuff like that. But the music production side is like, that's a natural thing. The hardest thing is, yeah, like I said, the whole like learning a little bit about music theory and like, making sure that you don't come in with a whack sounding beat because the beat is in the key of G major and you play like, all these dissonant sounds around it and you totally killed a beautiful sample because you didn't know what you were doing with it.
If you were sampling from any genre, what genre did you like catch yourself sampling from the most?
Definitely old soul music,
That's
just because that's what I came up on as far as like, my parents is older. They touching on 60 now. So, being around those times and, they have the little parties at our house and stuff like that where they play cards and
Oh
kicking
yeah,
definitely.
and they like, yeah, like stay in your room, don't come out here. So we would always sneak out there. You know what I mean?
And they'll play music all night too, wouldn't
all
they?
night. So you automatically catch on to some of those songs. And then I remember a moment, in fact, you could probably talk to this a little bit too. It was like a Marvin Gaye sample that I loved, and I was like, I could never touch that. It's too pretty. And then Ninth Wonder had flipped that sample before too, and I was like, you know what? I don't want to touch it. Like it's just too pretty. Ninth Wonder did it so amazing. I don't want to touch it. And I played with it one time while F.A.C.T.S came over for a session, and we was just talking, and I made the beat while we was talking. And I was like, all right, let me just play you what I made. Like I made it in a couple of minutes. I was like, yeah, like, listen to this. So I flip flop back from the Ninth Wonder one in mine, and I'll let you take it with the reaction. But I thought it turned out dope, and that opened it up a lot for me because I was like, you know what, I'm not gonna be scared to touch certain samples because I think they're pretty. You know what I mean? Like I'm gonna do
untouchable or something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You don't want to do it wrong, kind of thing.
Right.
F.A.C.T.S, definitely want to ask you, man, a little bit about your own personal journey, bro. Like, so how did you start out? Like, were you freestyling at lunch tables and like writing bars in your notebook?
No, man. Actually, it started. I was living in like Castleton and just going to bars, living the normal life in like 20, 22, 23. I didn't go off to college, so I stayed here, got a grown-up job, and I started writing poetry. And it was like just for me. I wasn't memorizing it or reciting. It was just like just getting it out. And then I started to rhyme all the time in my poems. So I was like, man, am I about to be a rapper? Like, what's going on?
What's going on here?
Exactly. So then in the meantime, in the midst of all that going on, I'm like freestyling at like house parties. You know what I'm saying? And
Shit.
yeah, and I'm like killing it. People are saying like, if you did that freestyle on 12 separate tracks, like I would buy your CD. Like people telling me just all this stuff, and I'm lit. So I'm drunk partying, so I'm just
Got the juice now.
Yeah, I ain't even taking it serious though. It's just like this is just for play. I lived in Broad Ripple, and one of my roommates started making beats and having rappers over our house. So then I would freestyle with them, and then we like kind of started a group, and then it was like '09, and I was like, wow, I'm a rapper now. And they would just call me Fonzo. Like I didn't even have a name yet.
Oh shit.
This is before F.A.C.T.S.
Yeah. So
damn.
And then in the midst of that, going out to Broad Ripple, I was bouncing in Broad Ripple at like 19. So I was always on the scene. And this is back when they had ciphers like all down the street because they had so many dudes playing on, buckets and drums and stuff.
Yeah.
There was a cipher on every street. This is like early 2010s. So we leave in a bar, I hop in a cipher. Now I'm starting to get known as the guy to just tell the rap. And now I'm just, freestyling all the time. And
okay.
so then I'm about to move to Florida. I'm tired of partying here. I'm just like, I'm about to move to Florida with my family and see what it's like. So I'm like, I'm gonna make a mixtape for myself, just for my own ears. And I recorded it at Asman Studios. And my homie Zig was an engineer there, and I had went to high school at HSC with him. We graduated, and he was like, "Bro, you more serious and talented than some of the professionals that come in here. Like, just as a solid to me, just take it serious, please." So him, just friends, everybody told me to take it serious. So then I was like, yo, I guess this is what I'm doing.
Yes, this is it now, right? Yeah, and Chad actually mentioned before we even did the interview, your style of rap, like you're a real
conscious rapper.
Yeah, a real conscious rap. You don't really cuss that much, you know what I mean? It's just like it's super dope, you know what I mean?
Honestly, it's dope.
It is super duper dope, man. And actually, F.A.C.T.S, I want to ask you too, because I know, like I said, you've been rapping before. You even linked up with CIZ. You have Harvey F.A.C.T and whatnot. So how hard is it to find like a good dope producer who can really complement your style, like that really helps you shine the most? You know what I mean?
I compare it to a relationship like with a female. Like you just got to meet the right one because there's a jillion
chemistry.
Yeah, there's a jillion producers in indie that are all super talented. But when I met Russ, it was just like it was peanut butter and jelly. And then he would push me and make me get better. So I was like, wow, like, and then I would let other people hear it. They're like, y'all sound beautiful together. So it's like when you find it, you got to know it and then work on it, embrace it, and just treat it like, like a child. And that's how I feel me and Russ's relationship is musically.
Yeah, that's dope. And I'm glad you said that too, because we're going to kind of transition into soul loops here. Man, you and Russ together, it reminds me a lot of Mad Lib and Doom on Mad Villainy. Like just how their production styles fit so well together, bro. Like literally they complement each other very well. You know what I mean? Like you guys are both dope on your own, but when you're together, it's like, man, this is some hot shit. And this Soul Loops, this is the first album since the 30 for 30 joint, 30 for 30 joint you guys did last year with Delon, right? I know you guys got beat instrumental albums out there too, but
Yeah.
okay.
No, you're right.
Yeah, and I remember F.A.C.T.S, he DM'd me on Instagram before Soul Loops came out. He told me, quote, "It's the best product you guys have made yet, and that it's truly a very special product." I gotta say, since I've been rocking with you guys for the last few years now, man, this one is definitely different. It just seems like you guys took a real big leap from the other ones. You know what I mean? And like I said before, everybody listening, it's out there on every platform available. So go bang that shit, please.
It's hard as fuck, mad soulful.
But yeah, so moving into the album, Russ, I guess Chad asked you about your beat making process, but in terms of you and F.A.C.T.S relationship together, now you know how F.A.C.T.S flows and stuff. Do you try and tailor make your beats for F.A.C.T.S?
Yeah, and it actually just happens on accident, for real. So like, he spoke about all the people that we work with. We got hip hop artists, we got singers as well who come in and contribute things. And I'm sure y'all heard on Steam Windows, that's Jay on the last portion. But no, man, like it turns out that like I'm just making a beat and I'm like, yo, this would be dope for F.A.C.T.S. So it determines how I'm gonna EQ it, because I'm the one who mix and master everything. Like I know the frequencies that will clash with his voice. So I know when I'm pulling a certain sample before I even get it into the MPC, I'm like, oh yeah, that's gonna be F.A.C.T.S, because I know that the sample is gonna mesh perfectly with his voice, or like the drums that I want to use are gonna mesh perfectly with his voice. And it just happens that I end up making a bunch load of beats for him, and I feel like we both work at the same type of pace. Like I could make, all right, for instance, I'll let the cat out the bag. We, are starting to work on Soul Loops 2 now. So it was a couple weeks. Yeah. So
he said it first here on Dirty 30 Podcast.
But now it was a couple weeks back, and I hit him, and I was just like, "Yo, I'm gonna make all the beats today. Like all the beats will be done by the end of the week." So at the end of the week, it was like, "All right, boom, you got 15 beats." That was, in a week span. And he, as soon as I made them and sent them to him, by the time I laid my head down that night, he sent me like 3 verses. He was like, yeah, like what you feel about this? And then the next day, 3 more verses. Like, yo, what you feel about this? And then now it's like, we talked this morning, and he like, yo, bro, I got like 12 out of the 15 tracks done. Plus, we got some more extra content coming that I'm gonna probably leave as a surprise, because I can let the other cat out the bag. But no, man, like he matches, like we both match each other's work ethic, and we both like genuinely love creating music. So it's not necessarily like a chore for us. I could create something today when this is over, and I know by the time he comes for the studio session, he'll already have a verse or 2 ready to go for it. You know what I mean?
No, yeah, you guys are
awesome.
You guys are both very dedicated to your crafts. And I gotta ask, I read this one article one time. It was Raekwon the chef was talking about Wu-Tang and RZA. RZA would cook up a bunch of beats, and like whoever had the sharpest sword got the beats. You know what I mean? So I know Russ is cooking up a lot of heat facts. What is it like trying to get your hands on the beat? Like it's Cody, you gotta battle Cody, Delon, and then for him.
Yo, this is crazy, because to attest his genius that I feel Russ is, he tailor makes beats for all of us now. So he gave me 15. He's not telling you, he gave Delon like 8, gave Cody like 5, and they're all tailor-made for their voice and their style. So now it's just like whatever he sends to me, I know it's perfect. It's not like we're not just playing jackpot with beats and we're just like whoever catches it. It's like now he knows where our frequency and where our flow is. So it's just he's a machine.
Man, real quick, don't let him get on here in front. It's a couple beats where I'm like, yo, I sent this to Delon, and he like, bro, I need that one, bro. I need that one, bro.
Like, man, you should have hit me up first, man. What you doing, Russ?
It gives me so much. It's just like, it's a blessing.
I feel that. I feel that. And actually, Facts, I want to ask you now. Actually, Dylan, I had a question for you.
Yeah,
All right.
Facts. So where do you look for inspiration, and what would you say is like a rapper you would compare yourself to nowadays?
Wow. First off, on the inspiration, it's just life. Like everything I've wrote in this year, I've got like a new job, so it's been stress and all that, but I've been able to dive into relationship talk. I've been able to just dive deep out of every situation from life. So now it's just once the vibe hits me, I just go and write. When I first started, it was like a sport. Like I would go on YouTube and just force myself to write verses, but now it's just like somebody just tapping me on the shoulder, like, all right, it's time to write. And then I'll go,
Yeah.
now I'm like writing a song every time I sit down. It's not just like a verse or a chorus, so it's an evolving thing. But as far as rappers, I mean, honestly, nobody, because that's the reaction that I've got from everybody since I started rapping. I've been rapping for like
Yeah,
7
you
years,
one of one.
like 11
Yep.
years. And everybody's
Damn.
feedback is like, you sound like somebody that's already on, but I don't know who. Like everybody says the same thing. Like you sound like the first you. So
That's
and
that's
that's
dope.
what pushes me and inspires me too. Is just like I'm like a unicorn, and I'm from Indiana, and I'm from
Oh,
representing
yeah.
the suburb. So it's
Mhm.
just like, and I'm talking my talk, which is blue collar hip hop. You know what I'm saying?
Beautiful.
Yeah,
Love it.
yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like when you a rapper, man, it's like that's your goal is to try to separate yourself from everyone else. You don't want to sound like the next guy, or you know what I mean. And you're doing a great job of that, bro. For
Oh,
real.
yeah.
And it's like I love music, so I wouldn't even play myself like that. Just me as a person, I got my own vibe. So when I didn't tell people I rap like the first couple years because it was like garage band, everybody was a rapper during 2010, 2011.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
wouldn't even tell people. So now it's just like it feels like it's destiny, especially with Russ and the CIZ movement. It just feels like we're living a movie now. That's what the Kanye doc it really elevated me and Russ. I feel
Right. Hey man, the Kanye doc showed you that anything, man. The power of manifestation is
Man.
fucking insane, cuz ain't it? Ain't it? And I gotta say too, I know everybody when we listen to an album, we all have our own unique listens, or we all have our own favorites when we first get to listening to it. You know what I'm saying? This motherfucker right here, hey, Russ on the flute, Russ on the flute in the intro, man. Come on now.
It is hard as
Not
fuck.
knowing where we
Dope.
going so much, man. Come on, Facts.
That's dope.
Bro, that shit is hard. And I know my guys here, they really like the last joint, what Cody put on.
I like the first joint too, Black Fleetwood.
Yep.
Yeah.
I love how the beginning of Black Fleetwood is just like it's something totally different, and then and then the beat switches, and then it immerses you into the soul loop experience. You know what I mean? That's really what I got from listening to that. The doo doo doo. Like what instrument? Russ, is there an instrument you have never used? Like, have you used everything?
I try to use everything, like, you know what I mean? Like I definitely have had my experimental portions. But I've been traveling a bunch, for work. So I'll always tell Facts, I'm like, yo, bro, I just got a crazy crate from Austin, Texas, or Dallas, or San Antonio.
Damn.
And I think that sample actually came from a Roy Ayers vinyl that I got from San Antonio.
Roy
Just like a
Ayers.
really small, yeah, it was a really small record shop. It was like a house or something like that. I always like to go to the real small ones because that's usually where you find the dope shit. So
That's sweet.
I went in there, I was digging, I was like, yo, like I have too much to put in my carry-on, but like I'm gonna just have to make it work. And I always come back, I like send a stack to him, like, yo, I got this. So now I
His
ended up
eyes
like,
just lighten up when he gets them text messages like, oh, yes.
yeah, no. So that was like a Roy Ayers, and I'm a big fan of Roy Ayers, just like as a listener, because of course, I'm not gonna say it again, but I'm a soul music guy, so Roy Ayers is like definitely one of the goats for what he does. So no, man, that was like a piece of a Roy Ayers sample, and I actually flipped that 3 different ways for all the 3 different
Damn.
rappers that we have. So each rapper will have, and it'll be like a nugget to see if like you all can find what's this, if that's the one that he made 3 different times. Because it won't be named Black
Damn.
Fleetwood, of course. But no, I made it in 3 different ways to fit those artists, like in their vibe of their projects and their voices and stuff like that. But
That's
nah, man,
sweet.
that was definitely one that I was like, yeah, this is for facts. I'm gonna send this to him right now.
Yeah, hey, I'm a sample junkie too. So like anytime I listen to like anything you do, I'm like, okay, was that a sample? Was this a sample right here? You know what I mean? I'm always trying to pinpoint. I even have an app on my phone. It's called Who Sampled. You can just look up any song and
Yeah,
it'll tell you
yeah.
sampled. And I'm always on that shit, dude. Literally always on that shit. But just keeping on the producer tip here, Russ, who's on your Mount Rushmore of producers?
Man, I wish I still had my records out, man. I'm packing because I'm about to move. But man, I would have grabbed all of them. I'm gonna just say this is a normal, of course. We all know Dilla for sure. Yeah, Dilla's definitely on the Mount Rushmore. It's no question. Yay, that's no question at all. I gotta go Doom. You know, as much as people sleep on Doom's production, like Doom is like stupid crazy.
Real.
I gotta go Alchemist. Man, Alchemist is like a killer with the collab projects. Like he is a huge inspiration for like me and F.A.C.T.S. Like, cause me and F.A.C.T.S both, you know, fuck with Currency. So like when they both came out with Continuous, it was like, oh, that's different. So like I would be lying if I said that like a little pieces of Soul Loops wasn't, you know, an inspiration from Continuous, man. Cause that shit is like, yeah.
Nasty.
Let me think of my fifth, yo. All right, I gotta go ninth. Like, I feel like ninth has his pocket, and he doesn't really do a bunch outside of his pocket. But obviously, his pocket is something that people still seek. You know what I mean? He's still producing for like all the top artists. You know, he's done stuff with Jay, Kendrick, you know, Rhapsody. Like, you know what I mean? So he still has customers that are always knocking at that door. You're not gonna get a bunch of different stuff from him. But you know, you're gonna get a ninth wonder track when you come to him. And I gotta put an honorable mention because he's been killing it the last couple of years. Hit Boy, man. Hit Boy is a machine. Like he is super dope. And he actually can play the keys, which makes a producer like, you know, a little cherry on the top to actually be able to go in there and play some original stuff. Like that's yeah. That game's points like a lot.
For real. And I'll definitely say this too. I was never really no one ever put me. I feel like, you know, everybody we're all like experiences of what people put us on and, you know what I mean, influence. And I was never nobody around me ever listened to Jay Dilla like that. So when I would go over to your house on Saturdays and I seen on the wall this Dilla's Donuts, I'm like, man, what is this? You know what I mean? Like Dilla's Donuts sounds cool. You know what I mean? Let me give it a spin. And boy, that shit's dope as hell. And also, too, I'll say, I remember back in the film club days, when I first got, me and Russ first really met, Russ would be sitting in the back, like kind of quiet dude, you know what I mean? But you was already graduated. And David introduced me to you and me and you just talking about Kanye. And that's how we just kind of hit it off. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like we both were Kanye stans, loved everything he did. And actually, me and F.A.C.T.S met too, that little pop-up event you guys did at that little, was it the Mousetrap? Is that the name of that little bar over there?
I forgot the name of it now, but I know what you're talking about. I premiered some episodes.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Yeah. Basically, they did like a pop-up shop at like on a old projector screen, and like people could come and watch and eat food. It was really dope. And that's when I met F.A.C.T.S. I had on a Lower Merion Kobe jersey, and we was talking about Kobe. And I think Kobe had just passed or something, and I didn't even know F.A.C.T.S was a rapper at that point. So I'm just asking him like, "Yeah, what are you here for?" He's like, "Oh yeah, my shit's gonna be played tonight." And that was like the first time I met F.A.C.T.S. But on back to you, F.A.C.T.S. Who is your biggest inspiration when it comes to rapping? Like your number one, your role model in the rap game.
First off, it was Jailbird. We're at the Jailbird.
That's it. Thank you for correcting me.
Thank you, man. You got a great memory.
Fire food there.
Very.
I don't know, man. Like honestly, I would say Ye or Wayne. Like I would say Ye and Wayne. Like
of it.
Honestly, it's me though. Like I can't compare myself to nobody. So it's always just like, okay, I can do this now. I can rap fast now. Now I can talk about this subject. Like just climbing the artist ladder of creative and just evolving. It's really me, but I would say Ye, Wayne, Currency, and Westside Gun.
Okay.
Yeah. Damn. I got a question for you. Being the lyricist you are, what kind of challenges do you face when writing a song? F.A.C.T.S. You ever just hit a brick wall? You're like, shit, I can't figure out what word to use here or what hook or, you know what I mean?
Whenever I just don't write. Like if I don't feel
Oh,
the
you off the
vibe,
dome?
I might go like a month or 6 months or like a week. So it's more of me just if I don't have the vibe, then I don't do nothing. Because that's when forcing it, that's when thinking too much.
Yep.
And the beat's gonna call me. The beat calls me, it tells me what to write to it. Like it's so I'm never like Russ said, it's a passion, it's a pleasure. It's like I do this already, do it for free. It's like this is my biggest love to do. So it's I would say a time crunch because I wrote a verse like in like 20 minutes right before this interview. So I would say a time crunch is probably the biggest block because it's just like your mind is just racing the time. It's just I would say that, but other than that, nothing.
Got
Okay.
you. Oh, and you also said that you were going to debut that verse here on the Dirty 30 podcast too. Is that what I heard? Nah, hey, I'm just fucking with you.
That's on the cat that's in the bag. I can't let you.
Ah, okay.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
speaking
no,
of,
I'm about to record that and a lot of other stuff today, though.
okay, and hey, I'm glad you brought all that shit up because I want to look forward here a little bit. The future of CIZ. I know you guys have said Soul Loops 2 is coming out, but is there any other upcoming plans that you could maybe fill us in on?
Yeah, man, I have to say, y'all probably got like a little sneak peek of it on the album. When it was the one that was titled Outro, and that was just like a little excerpt from us just talking in the studio, yo. And um, we have had this dream of putting together a music festival for a good while now, and we've had walkthroughs of venues, checking it out, kind of planning out the logistics and stuff like that. And then, the good old COVID came and kind of squashed all of
No
that. So
COVID.
we had to, yeah. So we had to like do a downsized, a little downsized version of what we're going to do, just a little quarter of it when we did the Creators Lounge premiere at the Jailbird. But no, man, that's definitely still like something that's on the table. We want to produce a music festival with all locally produced content. We know so many different creatives, that are in music, that are in art, that are in culinary, so just to have something that's totally put on by Indianapolis artists and creatives would be something that's dope. Because, I when I got done with my playing career, I'm washed now. I used to play football at U of I. But then when I got done with that, like I fully immersed myself in like the Fountain Square area because I had an internship at Do 317. So I was able to, kind of pull inspiration from that area, pull inspiration from, things that the hi-fi was doing. I was shooting concerts and stuff like that. So like being able to see logistically how things came together, being able to see creatives, mesh together and meet, and that was really a big goal of mine to be able to get this big melting pot of people who are, admittedly very distant in this city. Like, you know what I mean? A lot of creatives don't know each other. They don't want to collab because it's such a competition thing that I don't want to give you
Right.
this, gem. I don't want to do this. I don't want to
Networking
help you
key.
out in this way. Yeah, like I don't want to take food off my own plate. So, I'm not going to help you. And these type of events would help for those people to feel comfortable to, network and talk and, shoot ideas back and forth. So that's definitely something that we want to do. Along with just continuing to drop content on a more consistent basis. I'm definitely trying to present a fleet of music for the whole summer. So I'm not gonna
Yeah.
talk too much about it because my lips are already loose. I already let one out the bag, but but nah, man, like we definitely want to keep producing good music, and definitely see if we can get it out to more folks, man. Yeah.
No, yeah, I love it, man. And that the music festival idea is awesome. Like just getting a bunch of local people together and it's just amazing. The idea is incredible, and just throwing it out there. I mean, if in any way we could collab, man, we would definitely be open for that. Maybe like interviewing an artist before they take the stage or after they take the stage. Just putting that in your
That would
ear.
be dope. No, that would be dope. No, for real. Like I'm not even playing. We're gonna have to have side conversations about that. You know what I mean? As we get things in order. So
Most
yeah,
definitely.
man, definitely.
Yeah, and also too with that second to last song, I got major last call vibes from that. You know, we're gonna get that deal with Rockefeller. So won't you raise your glass? You know what I'm saying? That's what the vibes I got from it. But yeah, and and also too, just because we're talking about that one of the last joints on the album, you guys talked about that historic run Kanye had, and we might not have been all talking at that time when Kanye did all that producing shit, but I peeped it. He dropped Daytona, he dropped Nas's shit, he dropped Tiana Taylor, she dropped his own shit. I gotta ask you guys though, what was your favorite of that run? Your favorite album from that run?
Daytona, it's not even close.
Yeah.
Ooh, Daytona is crazy.
Yeah.
What's your favorite joint on there?
I probably have to go with What Would Meek Do? Because they both went stupid on that. Yeah.
For the throat on that one.
Man.
What was it? Something baby.
Come back,
baby.
Yeah.
Spot me one more time. Hey, that's the jam right there, bro.
Hey, we gotta get him in the booth, yo.
Hey, give me the booth, man. Hey, I'm ready. I can do whatever voice y'all want. This is the last thing I got for you guys. I just want to do a little bit of trivia, man. So I picked out 5 random rap questions. I'm gonna ask you guys to see who knows their rap best. You guys ready?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. All right, question number 1. What was the first rap name of Biggie Smalls? Was it MC Quest, MC Best, or MC Jest?
MC big as hell. I have to go with MC Quest, yo. I don't know. I'm shooting in the dark though.
Okay, F.A.C.T., you got any guesses?
I'm gonna do Quest 2 because I have no idea. That's crazy.
Hey, well, you guys are both right. You guys are both
All
right.
right.
1 of 1 right there. I didn't even know it either.
Cool.
Okay,
I remember something from that doc.
Okay, next question. What was the first hip hop group to win an Academy Award for Best Original Song? Was it Wu-Tang, the Fugees, 3 6 Mafia, or Salt and Pepper? First Academy
I'll
Award.
be surprised if they got this one.
What'd you say, F.A.C.T.? You said 3 6? Russ, who you got?
Say them again for me.
I got you. We got Wu-Tang, the Fugees, excuse me, 3 6 Mafia, Salt and Pepper.
I had the problem knowing the Academy. I probably had to go with Salt and Pepper, yo.
You know what? That's a very good guess, but F.A.C.T. takes the cake on this one. Their song, it's hard out here for a pimp. It was on Hustle and Flow, and that's what.
Lord.
Yep, that's what won the award. Yep. So F.A.C.T. has got the lead right now, 2-1. All right, next question. Which rapper has the most face tattoos? Gucci Mane, Lil Wayne, Post Malone, or Trippie Redd?
Probably Wayne.
I say Wayne too.
Man, you guys got that one easy. It's the pioneer of the face tattoos. He has more than 25 tats on his face. That was the correct answer.
Can't do it.
No, hell no. Okay, we got 2 more here. Who won the first Grammy for Best Rap Performance? Young MC, DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince, LL Cool J, or Cool Mo D?
I listened to the book 3 times. I've been trying to get F.A.C.T. to listen to the book, so I already know it's DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince.
That's a
Sweet,
fact.
sweet. Russ got that one first, so I'll go ahead and say you guys are tied on that one. But yeah, it was for the song "Parents Just Don't Understand," but they didn't even do it because the Grammys didn't even air. They didn't televise it. Ain't that wild?
Yeah.
Wild.
It's a shame.
That's a shame. But hey, this is the last question right here. Sudden death for all the marbles. How long did it take Young Thug to write his hit single "Danny Glover"? Was it 8 minutes, 8 hours, 8 days, or 8 weeks?
I say 8 minutes.
Dang. I have to. Let me just go on the whole other end of the spectrum. I got to just say 8 weeks. Then.
8 weeks?
Yeah.
Correct answer? 8 minutes. He did it in 8 minutes.
Because you ain't gonna talk about that.
Right.
That's some rap shit. Like you like, yeah, I did it in 2 minutes, yo.
Yeah.
Yo, I did it in 2 minutes. You're fine, bro. You're fine. But man, you guys, thank you so much for joining us today. I feel like we had some good conversation here today, fellas. As always, I'm your host, Buzzer Larkin.
I'm Chad Kelly.
And I'm D-Man.
You guys, Russ and F.A.C.T., you guys got anything else to say?
Man, be on the lookout for Soul Loops 2. Be on the lookout for another little surprise as well, yo. Just follow CIZ Beats on Instagram and check my music out on all different profiles, platforms at CIZ Beats as well as F.A.C.T. Yeah, man, just check us out, yo.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Max, any closing remarks?
Said it all. But these next projects we about to give y'all, just keep your ears open and your souls open, because it's about to get filled.
All right, keep your ears open and the Q-tips near. Get that earwax out them ears, cuz we got some fire coming for y'all. But man, thank you guys so much once again. I'm gonna include all your links into our posts and whatnot. And that's it, man. Really appreciate you guys.
For real, appreciate y'all.
Appreciate y'all, yo.
Thank you.